Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. I am so grateful that you guys are watching, subscribing, and commenting on my channel. I really appreciate all the support. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about INFJs and love and how we have this unfortunate hidden shame associated with being loved and wanting to be loved. Now, a lot of INFJs, as I've said in the past, will come across as being cold or unemotional or robotic, especially in our relationships, our partnerships, and our love or romantic relationships. I've always been told from the other party that I come across as a little bit cold and aloof and, sort of an ice princess that doesn't really care if the relationship goes on or ends. Now, obviously, over time, in the beginning, I'm like this. In the beginning, all INFJs are like that with people. But as time goes on, we begin trusting the person. We kind of start showing a little bit more of our personality, become comfortable with that person, and then we're able to show them our other side. And that other side is that side, that needy, possessive, clingy side that wants to be loved and feels bad that we want to be loved. I don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure, I think it has to do with the worthiness issue. And as I've said before, I've done a video on this. I've done several videos on worthiness, self-worth, self-love. And all of it is interconnected in this hodgepodge of madness where INFJs don't feel worthy and therefore they don't take care of themselves. They don't love themselves and they don't take care of their physical needs. And that causes them to be less lovable to themselves. And because they don't love themselves, they have a hard time either giving love or receiving love. And therefore we end up alone. And it's like a vicious cycle that runs over and over and over again. And the only thing that can break it is our learning of our capability of loving ourselves. Self-love is that thing that breaks the vicious cycle. But in order to get to that point, we need to learn more about ourselves and to realize that we are actually worthy. And it's all right for us to want love. It's not something to be ashamed about. We don't need to be ashamed that we want love. Everyone on this planet wants love. I know it makes us more vulnerable and it makes us feel insecure because if you are reliant upon someone, if you rely upon someone or if you say, okay, I need you, I need your love, that means that you are giving them your power. You're basically saying, you're important to me, and if you left me, I would be devastated. And that's something, that admission is something that's really hard for an INFJ. We just don't like admitting that to the world or to anyone on this planet, that I need you and I want you to love me back and I want you to show me that you love me. And if you don't, then I'm going to fall apart, right? That admission, literally, we would kill ourselves before admitting that sometimes. And because we have such a lot of shame associated with wanting love, it feels like a very needy experience and we hate being needy. Now, I've done a video on the past as well that we don't like clingy or needy people. Well, why don't we like that? Whatever you hate in someone else is what you despise in yourself. That's basically the essence of self-reflection and personality traits. If you hate someone being a spotlight hoarder, it's probably because you have some of that in yourself and you hate that part about yourself, right? And the same thing has to do with neediness or clinginess or wanting to be loved. That's one of the reasons we run away from people who are like that, because as soon as we see them displaying that quality, it reminds us, subconsciously or unconsciously or maybe even consciously, that we're like that. We are needy, we are clingy, we are possessive, we want love. We want it so badly sometimes that we will do crazy things for it. And then we'll hide from the person. And so once we realize that, that's why we kind of push away all clingy or needy people from our life, because we are afraid to see that in ourselves. Unfortunately, though, I think those are the kind of people we would go well with, is because as soon as we can give up that fear of clingy or needy people, they would be able to give us that love that we seek, that clingy, needy kind of love that we seek, where that person wants you so badly and loves you so badly that they'll take care of you and they won't leave you, right? Or they might leave you, but they'll probably not leave you. So that kind of love is what we're looking for, but we're afraid to say it out loud, and therefore we end up being alone a lot, right? We become those solitary people that are afraid to be in a relationship. Now, we would really like to be in a relationship. Most INFJs say they're fine being alone. I would say exactly the same thing. And of course, it doesn't matter if we're fine being alone. Most people can be alone. But we are also social creatures, and also we are human beings. And human beings like to be in a sort of relationship or partnership where the other person, loves them, takes care of them, and there's a reciprocity in there. We're looking for that kind of stuff. Every person on this planet is looking for it. Now, some of us, mostly INFJs, have given up on the idea because they think to themselves, it's just too hard to achieve that. The reason why it's so hard to achieve that is because we have to get over ourselves, right? We have to get over our thinking that we are unworthy of receiving love. We are absolutely worthy, not because we do anything, but because we are alive. And I've said this before, you are worthy just because you are here. That's all. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to dance a particular dance. You don't have to sing to a particular tune. You don't have to behave like a particular person. You don't have to do any specific deed in order to be worthy of love. You are worthy as you are, right? So as soon as we realize that fact as INFJs, then perhaps we can start breaking that vicious cycle of feeling unworthy and rejecting all forms of love towards us. That's one of the things that INFJs do really well. Because we feel like we're unworthy of love, whenever someone comes close to us and starts paying attention to us or wanting to take care of us or wanting to love us, we always think to ourselves, there must be something wrong with you, because why would you love someone like me, right? And we think that, and we think, okay, that person must be crazy, or they must be a sociopath, or there must be something wrong with them, right? And that's the reason they fell in love with me, and that's why I need to push them far, far away so I don't have to deal with their craziness. Now, that person might be completely normal, and probably 99% of the cases he or she is, and they just want to love you because they like you. There's something about you that jibes with them. Perhaps there is something in your soul that spoke to them or in your eyes, and so they want to hang out with you. But because, as I said, we're so fearful and we have so much shame associated with that feeling of wanting to be loved, and that feeling of unworthiness pervades everything that we do, it means that whenever someone does come into our life, we almost always end up pushing them away. We don't want to understand it ourselves sometimes. I make up all of these excuses in my head, and I know that I do that now because I've been more and more careful about it, and I make up all these really, really stupid excuses. I must say that I am not the most intelligent person or the smartest individual on the planet when it comes down to love and relationships. I have to say that I'm an absolute idiot. And so someone will, like me or want to hang out with me, and I'll instantaneously start making up all of these stories in my head about how they're crazy, or how they just want something from me, or they're trying to take advantage of me, or all of these stories, and I'll push them away. And then I'll, sometimes cry about the fact that I'm alone. Well, now I don't do that anymore. Now I've kind of accepted it and I'm happy with it. But in the past, I was always like that. I'd always push people away, especially people that wanted to be around me. And a lot of those men have actually messaged me recently saying, I really liked you and I really wanted to be in a relationship with you. Why did you do that? And I think to myself, I don't know. I don't know why I pushed you away, or why I behaved in such a dastardly fashion, when obviously you just cared about me and you just wanted to be in a relationship with me. I started behaving like a complete fool. And at that point, this is in my 20s, and in my 20s I had no idea what self-love was all about. I hated myself to a T. I had no sense of worthiness. I did not believe I was worthy to even walk on the planet, or to breathe the air, or to eat any food. Every breath I took, I thought that I was wasting air, wasting space, wasting this body, wasting this life. And so I had no sense of worthiness or love for myself. And it took me, as I said, all of this time until this point to figure that stuff out. But this shame, this hidden shame of wanting, and this clinginess or neediness, wanting to be loved, that shame has still, I don't believe, left my body and my mind and my spirit. I still feel, and this is a big admission to make on video, I guess, but I still feel that I think I still have that hidden shame every single time, and even if it's just not a romantic relationship. For example, if it's just a friendship, right? And I get a lot of new people coming into my life all the time. I make new friends all the time because I'm moving around all the time, and because Chiang Mai is a really easy place to meet people. And so I've made a couple of friends recently that have become really close to me. We've become really close in general to each other. And I know that I love these people. I love these women. They're amazing. They're so confident and beautiful, and I want to be friends with them forever. But instantaneously, as soon as I, fall in love with their friendship and their personalities, I want to run away in the opposite direction. Even if it's just a friendship, I think to myself, do I deserve this person? They're so much better than me. Why do they like me? There's nothing about me that they should like. Why do they even hang out with me? Are they doing it out of pity? Are they doing it because they're making fun of me behind my back? Or things like that. And all of this nonsensical, someone said they really like that word, but seriously, nonsensical thoughts come into my head and they float about and they make me go crazy. Now I know now that this is all nonsense, so I can stop myself and say, okay, just relax. It's just a friendship. Apparently they like you. There's something about you that they like, something that jives with them. They love you and want to be friends with you. Let's just do it. Let's just let go. Don't worry about it too much. Don't let your shame ruin relationships, especially friendships that you need and want in your life. It's necessary to have people around you. It's necessary to have these friendships. It makes you a better person. So stop being such an idiot. That's basically me talking to myself. And that's basically what I would want to say to you guys as well. Not the idiot part, but the fact that a lot of this pushing people away that INFJs do has to do with that hidden shame, right? And it's hidden for a reason, because we want to not admit that we do this. We think, oh, I'm happy being alone and I'm great being alone, and all of that is true. We're happy being alone and we're awesome when we're alone, and we can be single for years and decades on end without any issues. But if you are going to be honest with yourself, it's always nicer to be in a relationship with someone that you love than not, right? And I would rather not push people away anymore. Even if it's just a friendship, I would want to keep people in my life. I don't like all of the pushing away that I did in my 20s and my teens. I don't want to do that anymore. I really don't. Even if it's just a friendship or any sort of relationship, I want to keep those people in my life unless they do something extremely drastic and make me hurt me in some way. But in general, I don't want to use that shame of being loved or wanting to be loved as an excuse anymore to push people away. I want to remove that from the equation. And that's what this whole process of self-love, self-care is all about. Now, I know I've done a lot of videos on it, but if you guys have any specific questions about anything that I've spoken about in this video or any other videos that I've done, message me anytime, guys. Ask me the questions, because if you are asking the questions, someone else probably has that same question as well. And that's the reason I take in all these questions and then I do videos on them, because if one person's asking it, there's probably 2, 3, a dozen other people or more than that who have the same question, right? And it helps people. So ask those questions. I want you guys to send me those questions. You can comment below or obviously email me as well. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.